Hey, what's going on? This is a little demo of a spinner game I've been working on in Three.js. I have also been working on Edward de Bono's L game, so you can check that out in the other video. These are two little games I've been working on the side in between putting all the sound effects into Galactic Maverick. It's taken me a little while because audio really isn't my forte, so I've had to go around and gather sound effects from all kinds of sources as I just can't make the sounds myself. It's getting there now, it's on its way, and in the meantime I've been indulging my Three.js game development. Anyway, this is a spinner game, and I haven't gone with the traditional reels and icons on them. What I wanted to do is have it 3D and have these as 3D objects. So I was thinking this could be like a little Aztec theme thing with different stones and icons. And then what I've actually done is I've used Stable Diffusion to generate some icons and things, and I'm going to make like stone icons here, stone tablets with different characters and things on them, and they do different things, different effects when they line up. This is like a little block out. Oops, whoopsie daisy. This is a little block out scene I did in Blender. So it would probably be more like that, but I'm thinking of having some stone pillars either side, maybe like a little river here flowing underneath through the spinner. Yeah, some characters, some animations. Yeah, so this is where I am at the moment. And this is my little spinner. Now, as you can see, like I said, I'm not using a traditional circular object with icons on it to actually spin around or anything. I have made the reels have independent game objects on them. There's actually 12 objects per reel, but I've created a collision system where at the top and bottom here, I'm detecting collisions with the icons and turning them on and off, basically their visibility as they're spinning. So as an object gets to the bottom, it gets put back to the top, but the top is actually, way up here somewhere. And that's how it works. So they're getting switched off and on as they're appearing in that part in between the two colliders. And the green boxes you see are collision boxes that I've created to obviously line everything up, make sure it stops on the right icons, because we pre-calculate the results and then animate the spinner, right? That way the player can skip the spin and things like that. Let's see. So this was me when I was starting it off. This was the beginning of it. Well, the animation wasn't quite there yet. It would just stop abruptly and shoot into place. But this was me just testing it out. It was really tricky at first to get my head around it. I just went in blind and just thought, let me see how I can make this work. And at first I was doing it. So I was detecting at what position they were at on the y-axis, and then trying to turn them on and off depending what position they're at. So then I had to keep track of the position of every cube, and then I've got to try and see here, totally going nuts. I had to then try and keep track of every cube and what position they would be in the reel, and how they would, and then predict where they would end up. It was just, I made a big mess of it at first. It took me a long time to really iron this out, and then it clicked, and I thought, oh, I'll make these collision boxes, make a grid of collision boxes, which is quite similar to what I end up doing in my L game as well. Very useful. It just saves a whole lot of trouble just having collision systems there, so you can just see you just detect what's going on, and store all the data in the object, attach it to the object. You've got user data in Three.js on the objects. So if you look down there, you'll see the blue collision box here at the bottom, and then I put one at the top, and that's basically it there. See, now you can see the collision boxes where it's turning them off and on, because I kept getting it so it would stop and one would pop up the top. I'd have an extra one at the top or a missing one. Just a lot of messing around and experimenting, but I got there in the end. So it took me a while to figure out the optimum, but basically let's have a look, see what happens, shall we? This should work. Yes. So as you can see here, I did a lot. It took me quite a lot of experimenting, but I eventually got there and got an RTP of 0.94 on average. And on only 1,000 spins, it varies between 0.79, I suppose. That's the lowest I've seen it, but 0.8 to 0.9 something. So that's not bad return to player. That's what you want, about 95%. So the slot machine works well, and it's ready to be all prettied up and done properly. I mean, the code is wild. So at the moment, it's absolutely wild because I've just put it together with sticky tape and bashed it all together. So I mean, that's pretty much it for now. It's a quick video. This is all this is where I've got to, but I'm happy with it so far. Very happy with it, because now I've got the spinning sorted out. I've got the calculations sorted out, and I can animate it to finish at the right positions, which means that all I really need to do now is pretty it up. I can do all the graphics. I can build the environment. It's going to take a long time. The graphics are going to take a long time for this because it's the most important part. It's got to look good. It's got to be the right colors. I've got to do animations for every piece. I've got to do animations for all the different wind conditions, and it's going to be interesting. I'm excited about it. I'm looking forward to it. So this is going to be another Three.js game, and I think after the L game and this game, I'm going to make a 2D game using Pixie.js as a demo. So check out my other video, the L game and Galactic Maverick. The next devlog of Galactic Maverick will be coming out sometime next week, because I don't want to make another video until I've actually finished all the sound effects. So that has to be done before I put another video out. I've created a Patreon so that as this goes on and I make more things, I can release assets and scripts to the Patreon. I do need a supporter base. That's the reality. I do, in order to keep doing these things and making my own games. As I say in my other video at the end as well, I've got a list of a handful of games that I've designed, that spent years designing. In fact, one in particular that I've spent years writing story for. It's like an action RPG. But both the FPS and the RPG are obviously going to be large development projects. So I'm going to have to get funding. I'm going to have to generate interest, and I also want I want feedback. I want people to ask me questions and request things, and it will spur me on and give me ideas and only improve my skills as well. So yeah, it's time to build a little tight-knit community of like-minded people. So I'm going to put the Patreon link in the description, and I look forward to hearing from anyone who's interested and willing to support me. Much appreciated. Thank you for watching, and stay tuned, like and subscribe and all that jazz. Take care.